I am now live. Getting the stuff out of my pocket. I'm live, but I don't feel that alive. I mean, I feel fairly alive, but I am just waking up this morning. Gonna walk over here. There's people sign on. Anybody that wants to sign on. Little green space where I've seen elk roam and all sorts of creatures come out of these little low woods, or not woods, but I don't know, deserty areas. Off over there you can see smoke rising from this little sinkhole, and you can see smoke rising from there. The moon is rising. A raven is flying above. Oh, there it is. I don't know if you can see that raven go by. I don't know if you can see that raven go by, but they're big. They're bigger than I knew. Thought they were a totally different type of bird than a crow because they're bigger than crows, but turns out I don't think they are. I think they're the same species. Maybe. I don't know. But either way, they got big crows out here. And good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is Friday morning. It is June. I don't even know what day it is. I mean, that's okay. June 28th. I'm a bird watcher. Speaking of bird watchers, not that they're that rare anymore, but I've seen a bald eagle flying around the last few days, and it's kind of beautiful. You don't see them much where I'm from in Illinois, and you don't see them, at least where I'm from in Illinois. There's places in Illinois where there's a lot of them. It's the 28th. Thank you, Maverick. Good morning from Waco, Texas. But I've seen a bald eagle flying around the last few days, and it seems really pretty here against the blue sky and the mountain backdrop. And the ravens I see here and the magpies I am not familiar with. I'm familiar with them now, but they're not from my hometown. Excuse me. I just realized my belt. Put on my belt this morning, and I think it's kind of hard to explain. Sometimes there will be a twist in a belt. And what do you do when there's a twist in your belt? Well, hey, you fix the twist. I'm going to get this done right. If you want something done, you got to do it yourself. I'm mixing my metaphors. Hang with me. But I had a loop in my belt. Not my belt loop, but a loop in my belt. You know what I mean? If it was twisted. So I had an area that was kind of annoying me in the back. I don't want to do my show annoyed. Wearing a sweatshirt this morning because it's chilly out. And, I don't know. Feels good wearing a sweatshirt when it's chilly out. Feels like it's fall. Better not be coming up on fall. But anyway, it's Thursday morning. It is June 28th. Happy Thursday to you. Good morning, Tommy John. And Maverick says his favorite is the female cardinal. I'm coming around to the female cardinal. Its colors aren't as spectacular as its male counterpart. I do need a smaller belt. I think I'm losing weight. I do need a smaller belt. I need a few things. I'll get to that in a minute. Are there special Yellowstone police? Yes, there are. I think they're, yeah. We actually have a special little Yellowstone jail over there. Imagine getting a Friday. Did I write Thursday? Oh, okay. Well, it's Friday. Again, the days get confused. I apologize. Maybe that'll draw traffic. That who's this guy with the wrong day of the week? I've heard if you wear a name tag, if you wear it upside down, it's even more powerful. Because it gets, I don't know, it draws attention. So maybe my shtick from now on will be throwing off the wrong day of the week. It'll be Tuesday, and I'll be calling it Sunday Morning Coffee with Ken. and my audience will grow huge. But anyway, this is a show I've been doing for quite some time. It's a show about me talking. It's a show about me sharing some feelings, kind of getting my day started, sharing the ups and downs in life and the little experiences I have. And I'll talk about the bumps on the road more than most people will. And I think that's part of the show's charm. But anyway, for those that have been watching a while, you know it is not just a show about me talking. You know it is also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. That's pretty good. With that in mind, I got a nice hot cup of coffee in front of me, and I am so excited to take my first sip. My hope is wherever you are, whatever you're doing, that you got a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. Just remembered something from last night. Let me take another sip. People around know that I like my coffee, that I have a coffee with Ken mug, and some of them know. Cheers to you, Carol. Some of them know that I have a talk show. And they all know that the cafeteria coffee is only so good. And last night, when I got home from where I was, it's a box in our rec room area with free stuff. And apparently people, when they're leaving town, maybe drop off stuff in this box to take. And a bunch of people told me that there's a coffee maker in this free stuff box in our rec room. And I kind of at the time had a lot on my mind, and I kind of ignored it. But as I'm sipping this coffee this morning, it would be nice to have just made a big cup pot of Starbucks Sumatra coffee and be swigging that with you guys this morning. Good morning, Brenda. Do they have Smokey the Bear signs in Yellowstone? No, they do not. Yesterday, what is my problem? I don't have a problem. My phone has a problem. It's not that big of a problem. It's that I'm on a coffee, or not a coffee table, a picnic table with kind of holes in it. So my phone every now and again falls in a hole. Don't know if that's even, or if it's even enough. It's going to be, no, I can do better. I always talk about letting perfection go and just being okay with the world as it is. I don't listen to a lot of my own rules. That's why I do a show. So I keep talking and I keep reminding myself. Speaking of not listening to my own rules, yesterday afternoon after work, I worked the breakfast and morning shift. By the way, today is the start of my weekend. It's Friday morning and I don't work today or tomorrow. For those who don't know, I'm coming at you from Yellowstone National Park, where I'm working as a server in the dining room here. And I'm from Chicago area, and about 5 weeks ago now, maybe 5 weeks ago today, I arrived in Yellowstone after almost a week-long trek across the country on my scooter, my Suzuki Bergman 400, and pulled into this area green, kind of nervous, kind of excited, kind of didn't know what to expect. And as life happens, you learn a little bit every day, and now I know most of the people that work here, and I'm learning how to do my job as a waiter and get everything done, and learning how to take care of business and kind of learning my way. But anyway, yesterday I worked breakfast and lunch, and afterwards I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with myself. And I think there's a lot of pressure when you live in such a beautiful area, when you have off work time, to go do something cool, go for a hike or go fly fishing, or I don't know, do something really cool. And sometimes you're tired, and sometimes you don't want to go for a hike, even in a beautiful place. And you're going, I've been hiking around the dining room all day. I want to rest. So what I do when I want to rest is I ride my scooter down to Gardner, Montana, which is the bordering town just over the down the mountain from here, about 4 or 5 miles away, and hole up in Wonderland Cafe and got a comfortable chair, and the people are starting to know. I mean, the people know me there. I try and be quiet. I'm not trying to make a scene, but it's the same 55-year-old bald guy sitting in the same chair most days. They start to wonder who the heck this guy is. Is he a spy for another coffee shop gathering data on how we do business? No, it's just some guy that likes soft chairs and drinking coffee and people watching and editing videos and sometimes reading a book. So anyway, I enjoy going down there, and they've been kind to me and have been giving me coffee the last couple days because I'm a regular, which I think is particularly sweet. But again, I feel bad because I don't really eat there. I don't really give them much money. I'm only paid for my coffee. One time I had 3 non-alcoholic beers and I actually had a $20 bill, and that made me feel kind of good. I'm supporting the team. But other than that, I just drink coffee. And I don't know. I guess like I'm a plant in the corner, and they kind of want to water me from time to time. Here, give him some coffee. Let's pour it over his head. See if he can sprout some hair. But anyway, I was down there yesterday, and a lot of you guys know I've been working hard as a waiter, and I have a lot of financial responsibilities back home, and I have kids I love that I'm missing, and I've been working on a plan over the last month or so of buying an RV and driving it back across the country. And a week or so ago, I started thinking that I had a solution, not a solution, because maybe that's my point. Maybe we need to stop looking, or I need to stop looking for solutions a little bit to life's issues, and just accept life as it is a little bit more. But a lot of times I try and crack the code that is life, and try and, good morning, Will Bill Chill, try and figure out stuff, and maybe try harder than I should, and again, need to do a better job of letting go and accepting things as they are, and accepting the fact that I'm here in Yellowstone in late June 2024, waiting tables, and despite the fact that I don't love it because I'm away from my 2 babies, accept that I'm away from my 2 babies till October. And the last week or so, I have 2 little ones, 1.5 and a 3-year-old. I also have 2 bigger girls, but they're bigger and they're okay, and I feel they're doing great in life. I mean, I know they miss me and I miss them, but I feel it's really important that I get back with my babies and see my babies and tickle my babies and blow on their bellies and, I don't know, cuddle them and love on them. And it's been that's been the biggest challenge of being out here, is being away from them. So anyway, I've been working on getting an RV or buying an RV, and one came available in the last week that I knew about, and I looked at it the other night and it wasn't right. So rather than just going, okay, well, that one's not right, let's just keep doing what I'm doing, I tried to figure everything out, and was sitting at the coffee shop last night doing all this research on RVs and trying to figure out which one was right for me and which one I should buy. And I don't even have the money to buy it right now. But figuring if I found the answer, I could figure a way to pay for it or what have you. And my mind started spinning, and I started getting in a haze, and I started feeling anxious, like I'm never going to get home, or never going to see my kids again, or, you know, trapped here, and a bunch of negative thoughts and anxiety and worry started taking over. Because I couldn't find the answer, because I was YouTubing these RVs that I wanted to buy. And that's what I'm saying, Rich. But I was trying to solve it by gathering information. And I kind of realized that when I woke up this morning, that the answer's not there yet, and the solution doesn't need to be had today, and that it will all work out. Rich said patience is a virtue, but I think faith is a virtue, even a bigger virtue. And maybe faith gives us patience, and having faith that things will work out and that things are happening for a reason and that everything's okay and that I'm where I'm supposed to be, and the answer's not ready yet, made me feel a lot better this morning. Because last night my head was turning. I was going, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Gotta buy an RV today. And the truth of the matter is I don't have the money to buy an RV today or yesterday. And, I worked hard yesterday. I don't know. Sometimes, I want answers that don't exist yet. And just remember how your being in Yellowstone worked out. Yeah, I appreciate it. But anyway, so I got home last night. They put us up in dorms here, and I had a new roommate. I've had a bunch of roommates since I've been here. But I have right now 2 young men that seem like nice kids. They're 20 and 21. It's okay, I guess, if I call them kids. I hope it is. Well, I'm sure it is. But they're both from Romania. They didn't know each other. They came on different flights out here. And every now and again, we get an influx of international employees to come work here because the company I work for is called Xanterra. And it does a good job of recruiting around the country, but also recruiting internationally. We get a lot of people working from Asia, and apparently a lot of people working from Romania, because I have 2 Romanian roommates. I'm learning 1 word a day. I asked one of my roommates, I told him I wanted to learn 1 word a day. So how do you say hello in Romania? And he goes, salut. And that's what you'd say to a man. And it's bona if you talk to a woman. I don't know the exact reason that there's a different word, but apparently there is. But then he started telling me a bunch of other words. And I go, hey, 1 word a day. 1 word a day. Let's not overwhelm. Let's not try and teach me Romanian tonight. But I will learn 1 word a day because I have 2 Romanian roommates. And they seem like good kids. And I don't want to share little stories about them, but it'll be fun getting to know them and learning about a different place in a different part of the world. And I don't know, yeah. William Doherty, thank you for following me. I don't get many people following me from my live shows. I get most of them from my little shorts and reels and TikToks I post all over. And it was weird. This spring I jumped really quickly. I had a lot of growth in Instagram. And I don't know if it's Friday. I know I can't change the name I can't change the name at this point while I'm doing my show. But I appreciate you correcting me. When you go live here on Instagram, you enter some words, and I entered Thursday morning coffee with Ken. And I hit live, and now I'm talking, but I can't go back and change the words while I'm talking. I'd have to turn you guys off and go back and change the words. And I don't want to turn you guys off. I work hard to gather this audience, this delightful audience of 26 people. And so I'm going to keep talking and not worry that it says it's Thursday morning coffee with Ken. What was I saying? Something earth-shattering, I'm sure. I don't know. I'll drink a little more coffee. Thank you, Carol. Thank you. It is okay. The elk has gotten friskier, or I'm riding down to Gardner a little later in the day these days, and the road to Gardner, Montana is a very windy road, and it's kind of straight down a mountain. It's a beautiful road. I'd like to have a GoPro just to share the riding experience. Again, I'm riding on a Suzuki Bergman 400, which is like a motorcycle sort of. But anyway, the elk seem to be out and about at that time at 8 o'clock at night a lot. and they're crossing the road. And these elk, these mostly female elk I see, are pretty big creatures. They're like 500 pounds. And they could probably stomp me and my scooter into dust. And I don't know how much social media. Okay, wait. How much is social media generating revenue? Midwest Mama. You guys don't want to hear my story about the elk? Let me tell you, they're crossing this little windy road. And when you're riding a scooter and there's a small herd of like 10 female elk with a couple little baby elk, you don't want the mama elk coming and stomping you on your scooter. No, I don't. And they're kind of trudging along the road, and they're very close to me, and I'm going, maybe if I give it some gas and dart by real quickly, they won't come and stomp on me. But I'll tell you what, I've been concerned the last couple nights about getting stomped to death by a herd of female elk. Midwest Mama wants to know, how much is social media generating revenue? I would say all three. I get a little money on Facebook. I get a little money on TikTok. And I get a little money on YouTube. And those three little monies add up to, I would say, about $150 a month in revenue. So that's what I'm making right now on social media, $150 a month. But I'll tell you what, a lot of people go, oh, that's pretty good. It's more than I thought. But the real key is I was making probably $30 a month in December. And I don't know. I enjoy doing it. And I'm not doing it for the money. But it's fun to watch, kind of. It's kind of fun to watch and see it get more. And every day I get like totals, how much I make. YouTube might give me $3 on one day, and sometimes TikTok will give me 50 cents, and Facebook will throw me some change, and Instagram, where I'm going live right now, doesn't throw me any money, but it grows the quickest, and I think it gives me the most opportunities in terms of marketing, because I'll have people reaching out going, hey, I am a coffee wholesaler, and I'd love to put Coffee with Ken on a coffee bag and sell it. And so I think there's a lot of opportunities and a lot of doors that open through Instagram, and it just seems like a fun, friendly, nice social media platform that, other than the fact that they don't give me any money, I enjoy. And I don't know, it seems like a good place to grow an audience, so that's why I'm here. Will Bilchill says, what gave me the idea of an RV initially? Well, I think I thought about it for a long time. My ex-wife and I actually were thinking about getting out of the suburbs and downsizing, and when we were together, and buying land and getting a little house and kind of living off the land and doing a simpler life. I think that just seems appealing to me. And the fact that housing prices have gotten so expensive all over the country, the average home in my hometown in Naperville is probably about $500,000 right now. And there's less and less small homes, and renting an apartment probably costs, for a one-bedroom apartment there, costs about $2,000 a month. And when you are paying child support to for 4 kids, that's a good chunk of my current revenue. It's half the money I make, and I don't make that much. So it doesn't leave me a ton for housing. And because of that, I'm here in Yellowstone. And because of that, I'm more and more interested in buying an RV because I think it'd be affordable, reasonably. There's one riding by right now that I could probably buy for $75,000. It's bigger than I need, but I think I could get a used one that would work well and get me to and around the country for, I don't know, 30 or 40 grand, which is more money than I have right now. But I think the simplified life, the mobility, would both be really, really cool. And I think I could experience a bunch of different things in different ways. And as a divorced dad, I don't need I was sitting at a buddy's house who owns this huge, not huge, but big, beautiful home in Naperville. It's probably, I don't know, over $1 million. I'm sure it is. And we were talking about stuff. And I thought, your house is beautiful and it's great for you, but I just don't want all this stuff and don't need it at all. And when you're, again, a divorced man, having a big, huge house seems, doesn't seem gratifying. It seems lonely. And I think an RV would be really cool. So for those reasons and more, I thought an RV would be a lot of fun. Yeah, I can go up and down. This is fun. Do they take taxes out? My dining room, yeah, they do. They do take taxes out, which is good. Remember my first penny? I do. I think because I live in Wyoming, there's no state taxes, so I will be saved state taxes. It will grow. Social media is a long game. Carol, oh yeah, I appreciate you saying that. Hello, Aaron. Is that Aaron? That's not Aaron. No, I'm sorry, wrong person. She looked like a woman I know. My dad used to do that. He used to embarrass the crap out of me. Think he saw somebody and yell their name, and that's what just happened. I yelled at some woman that looked like a girl I know. It's not a girl I know. It's just some woman. How many direct messages do I get a day? I don't know. But a few. Oh, this is fun. When you get your TV. I heard that there was presidential debates last night and they weren't going well and they were horrible. So I don't. Do the social media platforms take taxes out? I don't know. I'm not that concerned. I only make $150 a month. I'm not sure if they take taxes out. Amen to van life. You meet legends like yourself along the road. I work FIFO and van life between swings. FIFO is first in, first out. I'm not sure what that means that you work it, but I appreciate that. I think it could be neat. And again, I rode a scooter across the country, and the experience of riding a scooter across the country versus a car is totally different. And I think it could be a similar experience in a van or in an RV or whatever. The nature of travel changes, and the meaning of life kind of changes a little bit. Maybe not the meaning of life, but what you're doing. And getting there is half the fun. And again, when I rode my scooter from Chicago to Naperville, I met so many people and stopped in so many tiny little towns and had so many fun little conversations with people that I wouldn't have had on a car driving on an interstate. And in an RV or a van, you're probably stopping at campgrounds and talking about RVs and talking about little gas burners or little fridges or little porta potties or what have you, and experiencing life in a different way. And I think that'd be neat. And again, I just think it'd be neat. When you get your RV, where is the first place you think you'd want to go? I'd want to go back to Naperville and see my little babies and, I don't know, tickle. I'm picturing tickling them both and chasing them around the house, their mama's house, and tickling them. That's where the first place I'd want to go. Second place, I don't know where the second place would be. This is fun. Fly in, fly out, or Dido, drive in, drive out. Oh, I get you. But anyway, it's Friday morning. It is Friday morning, and the sun is coming up over the mountain. Just a little bit over there, and you can see it hitting that big hill. It's funny, there's this hiking trail right behind me, and hiking is a big activity here in Yellowstone. And a lot of people, there's this woman I know, young lady I know, that goes on like 15 and 20-mile hikes. Seems crazy. I used to run marathons. And even running that far seems kind of crazy. But to hike up a mountain, 15 miles, it would take all day. Seems tiring. Might get eaten by a bear while you're doing it. Am I doing okay today? I think I'm doing okay. Tell the chef to make some Italian beef. Lots of good suggestions. Are you camping right now or in a hotel? I'm neither. I work for a hotel, or at least I work for a hotel company. I'm staying in a dorm. It's actually a kind of clean dorm. They take good care of it. Have two roommates, two young Romanian men. And it's all right. It's all right. It's actually kind of a neat experience. And I tell you what, if I was 20 or 25 years old or something like that, I think this would be really a cool experience, because a lot of people that work here are that age, and a lot of fun being had and a lot of work being done. And it's still a really neat experience. It's just, I think there's an underlying me withdrawing from the community a little bit, because this isn't my vision of life right now. And again, I have a desire to get back to my kids, and because of that, I don't know, kind of stay away. Hello, Roger. Who is Roger? Do I know you, Roger? Do you work with me? I have a guy named Roger going, hello, Ken, it's me, Roger. I'm wondering if I know this Roger. I don't know many Rogers. So I probably don't know this Roger. Still haven't gotten my Yeti. Oh, I wanted to talk about that. Two things I wanted to buy. I was down in Gardner, Montana yesterday looking for a Yeti. I've got two Yetis back home. I forgot to pack one, or didn't think I'd need one. Bad mistake on me, but I did have limited space. I was riding a scooter across the country, and so I didn't bring one along. But I had a purple one that my two daughters bought me for Christmas a year and a half ago, and I really like, and I didn't bring it. And I've been going without, and about a month ago, I saw one, or 3 weeks ago, saw one with a Yellowstone I don't know, logo on it, and I didn't buy it because it was like $45, and I thought maybe one would get sent to me, but the cost of shipping is probably half the cost of the Yeti, so it didn't seem worth it. But anyway, I was shopping last night looking for a Yeti, didn't find one. One of my Romanian roommates, and apparently they don't get paid very much in Romania, so they come here to work, lost his earbuds yesterday. And I'd like to buy him a pair of earbuds for whatever reason, for no reason, because he needs them. And so I'm looking for that. I'm looking for earbuds. I'm looking for a Yeti. And while I was doing that, I came across some Stetson cowboy hats again. And I'm not sure they're official cowboy hats. They're a little softer, more like, I don't know, kind of Crocodile Dundee hats, and I had them on last night in the gift shop, and I kept looking at myself. I think it was bad lighting. I think the lighting wasn't right. I mean, I looked pretty good in them, but I had them on at a different store, and I had a little stubble on my face, and I go, wow, you look really good in that hat. But last night, I don't think I looked quite as good wearing the hat, and eventually I'm going to have to travel back in my scooter across the country, and I'm trying to keep it minimalist, and I'm not sure that I can rock the cowboy looking hat. I probably can, but I wasn't 100% sure I could pull it off yesterday. And the hats are about $150 in this gift shop. You could probably get them cheaper on Amazon, but I don't know, a hat needs to fit right, just kind of like shoes need to fit right. So I didn't pull the trigger, although I was tempted. I tried on every hat in the store. And they probably would be good. So there's three things I'm going to be shopping for. A Stetson cowboy hat, or maybe not cowboy hat, but a wide-brimmed Stetson hat. And one morning, you guys are going to wake up drinking your coffee, and I'm going to be sitting here in a cowboy hat. And you're going to go, who's that guy? Where's my bald guy that I know and love and drink coffee with every morning? And I'll go, hey, it's really me. Here I am wearing my cowboy hat. And I'm looking for earbuds for my roommate, and I'm looking for a Yeti to keep my coffee warm, because my coffee is not warm right now. RJ's saying, grow the stubble back. I don't know that somebody just said I'm an inspiration. And I find that so funny. I mean, I laugh and I smile and I have a good time and I enjoy life. So that inspires you. Keep rocking. But I got struggles just like everybody. I'm just more willing to talk about them and smile about them and laugh about them and be me. And I'd encourage you to be you. People often ask me what advice I would give my 20-year-old self, and it's hard to put it into. I don't think I could give it in one word, and if I said "be you," that wouldn't explain it enough. So it's hard to encapsulate what advice I would give to a 20-year-old self or anybody watching. I don't know. I don't want to try and do it now. Any adventures planned for my weekend? Not at this moment. Not at this moment. I haven't thought of what I'm going to do today. I've thought about taking a ride to the Tetons, but it's a 3-hour ride, and that's a serious ride on a scooter. So no, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I may do nothing. I may go to Gardner. I mean, I certainly won't do nothing. I'll at least work out. I'll at least go to Gardner, Montana. But it's possible I might do some more adventures, and I think that would be neat. I think last week or so I went to the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone, and it kind of gave me a spring in my step because it was really beautiful. And I may do something like that again, but I'm not sure. But what I do know I'm going to do is I'm going to get some more coffee. I'm going to put my phone on my charger. I'm going to go slow this morning because although it's still, it's 6:40 my time, it was nice waking up knowing I wasn't going to work, wasn't going to be waiting tables early in the morning. Last 3 mornings I was in the dining room running around, running in circles, serving coffee, serving water, bringing juice, cleaning plates, going back to the dish, coming back out, saying hello. And it was nice to be able to wake up and lay in bed for 5 or 10 minutes and not feel in such a rush. So what I'm going to do this weekend is not feel in such a rush. And I'm going to do whatever I want to at that moment. And I don't know what that is at this point. Does my restaurant serve carrot cake? That is my favorite. Maybe I do know you, Roger, because I like carrot cake and I talk about it a lot. My restaurant doesn't, but my cafeteria does. And we had carrot cake last night. And it was pretty good. The frosting didn't stay on the cake like it should. So when the kid was cutting it, the big wedges of frosting got separated from the cake. But it still tasted good. And I bet you in there at breakfast, they're going to be serving sausage links and eggs and gravy and hash browns. And I don't know if my arteries can take all that. Look at the sun rising. And let there be light. And there was light. Yeah. Woo! That's what the sun is like, rising over the mountaintop. It's kind of pretty. But, yeah. I'm going to go get some coffee. I'm going to go get some breakfast. I'm going to go about my day, and I'm going to try and remember to focus in the moment and focus in the now and not get too caught up with what's coming in October or even what's coming tomorrow, because October and tomorrow are never promised, and if we keep ourselves focused on the moment and the now, things kind of work out a little better. And I caught myself thinking a few months down the road, and I felt anxious and stressed and in a bad mental state last night. And it's okay to do that from time to time, but it's key to recognize that you're doing it and to let that go and to get back in the moment and remind myself that the sun is rising over the mountains and that it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful day. Brenda's asking the average cost of a pancake sausage breakfast. In my dining room, I think the average cost of any breakfast would be $15. But for me in the cafeteria, it's free, or it's not free. It's part of the $500 I pay a month to live here. Are you considering leaving early? It sounds like you are not happy there. I wouldn't say I'm not happy, but I miss my kids. I miss my kids. I'm not considering leaving early. I mean, I need to be here. I'm blessed to be here. I'm blessed to have the opportunity to be here. But I do miss my kids. If I don't know, if I won the lottery, I probably wouldn't be waiting tables at 6 a.m. here. I'd probably go back and see my kids. Yeah. So, again, considering means thinking about the future. I'm fortunate to have the sun shine over the mountains. I'm fortunate to have a couple days off, and fortunate to be in a beautiful place and have a bed to stay in. So I'd rather focus on that than what I'm going to do in a few months. But I am looking forward to my day. I am looking forward to my coffee. I am looking forward to having a couple of those sausage links because I'm pretty hungry. And I'm looking forward to my day. And I hope you're looking forward to your day as well. I hope you are living in the moment and not getting too stressed out about what's coming down the road. What do you do for health insurance? It is hard to be away from my kids in my retirement home. Cobra is expensive. Well, a lot of good subjects coming up, but the little red light on my phone is shrinking, and my battery charge is dying. So maybe save these good questions for tomorrow, and maybe join me tomorrow, and maybe I'll be able to answer them for you then. But right now, I'm looking forward to my coffee. Thank you, Eric. Right now, thank you, Will Bill. Right now, I'm looking forward to having my coffee, getting a couple of those little sausage links. Maybe an English muffin with some strawberry jam and some butter on it. That I like to eat a lot. And get a cup of coffee, put my phone on the charger, share this video on other social media platforms, maybe edit some other videos over a couple cups of coffee today, and do my best to enjoy the moment and enjoy the day. I hope you're enjoying your morning. I hope you're enjoying your coffee. I hope you are feeling good. I hope your week is going great. I hope you had a great night's sleep. I hope you're loving yourself. I hope you're forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.